Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. All right, get down. I gotta do a video. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Q&A session here on my YouTube channel. This is a video where all I do is take viewers' questions from my Instagram and from my Twitter. So first off, how do you get your question answered on one of my Q&A videos or in the vlog, which happens every Wednesday? When I post a picture on Instagram, send in your question there. You can also send me a question anytime on Twitter, and maybe you'll get your question answered there. Okay, let's do this. Kiera Mornville asks, do you ever think you will move on to coaching swimming? Excellent question. I've thought about that an awful lot, and I think that I would really like maybe coaching college someday, maybe coaching clubs someday. I could certainly see myself doing something like that. Whatever I end up doing post-swimming competitively, I don't see myself leaving the swimming world entirely. Like, I see myself doing something in the world of swimming. But as far as coaching goes, there's so much more to coaching than just standing on deck and giving a stopwatch and yelling some times, you know? The thing that I admire most about my coaches isn't necessarily the on-deck coaching aspect where they're critiquing stroke technique and when they're giving you sets and when they're motivating and encouraging you, but it's also the relationship building and the shepherding people as individuals, you know, helping people grow as humans. That sounds kind of deep, but, you know, here, I'm swimming for a college team. My college coaches are kind of like acting father figures or parents for those young college swimmers' life. You know, for me, swimming has always given me the best role models that I've ever had my entire life. It's given me the father figures, you know, through coaches and through mentors, and I would like to someday be able to give back to the sport of swimming in the way that swimming has provided me with those mentors and those relationships and all the things that it's taught me. So coaching is definitely an avenue where I could do that, you know, where I can teach some people some things, you know, share some of my experiences and kind of help people grow and help people learn a little bit more about themselves through the sport of swimming, you know. That's one thing that I think is super cool about athletics and swimming especially. So yeah, I could see myself coaching someday. We'll see. I could literally do an entire video talking about that. Maybe I will. Chris asks, did you think you had a good Tier Pro Series meet? So Chris is referring to the most recent Tier Pro Series in Atlanta, where I swam the 100 and 200 breaststroke, and overall I give it like a 5 out of 10. But that's, you know, given the circumstances, the fact that I'm predominantly training distance right now, trying to build up my aerobic base, I'm very tired and very beat up. I'm not in a speed and power phase, and my long-term goals are, you know, doing well this summer, and so in order to do that, I have to grind right now because I took a lot of time off. I have to work super hard, and so those fast times aren't coming, but, you know, it's a learning process. It's, you know, you swim a race, you make a few mistakes, you work on those mistakes, you clean things up, and you figure out what to do next. But for me, I think I'm in a good spot for my swimming, but who knows, this summer we'll see how I do. But overall, it was all right. Raiku Dish 25, I think that's your name, asks, what was your 100 breast short course at 18 years old? I'm going to assume you mean short course yards, and at 18, my short course yards time was, let's see, 18, I was a freshman in college, and my freshman year, I went a 52.8 or a 52.9 in the 100-yard breast. Yeah. Katie Wilson, 65, asks, what's your second best stroke? Probably butterfly. Yeah, butterfly. Ariel 2020 asks, did you go out partying while in college? Great question. Definitely gonna do more videos on this topic and talking about, you know, the college lifestyle and drinking in college and those kind of things, because I think it's important to be honest and truthful and educational. And to be truly honest, I did not drink until I was 21. I didn't. For me, I never had a whole lot of interest in drinking until I was 21 for many reasons. Number one, my dad had serious alcohol problems. You know, he was a very addictive person, and so that kind of scarred me as a young kid. You know, I had a very negative look at drinking. And on the other side of it is, like, I always understood that alcohol diminished results, right? Alcohol was a detriment to training. Alcohol prohibits recovery, and those are all things that I didn't want to happen. Like, you know, from 17, 18, 19 years old, I wanted to be the best swimmer I could make myself, and I knew that by drinking, I was going to negatively impact that. And so I never drank underage in high school, and I never drank underage in college, and that's the truth. I started drinking alcohol when I turned 21 after my junior year of college, right? Like, I started going out and partying a little bit my senior year of college. And total honesty, guys, it hurt my swimming. It affected me negatively. I did not have the senior year that I wanted to have, and I think a big part of that was I lost focus in my swimming, and I started doing things outside the pool, like drinking, that were negatively impacting my training. I didn't perform the way I wanted to at Big Tens or at NCAAs my senior year, predominantly because I was drinking that year. And every other year prior, I'd gotten better and I'd made progress every season, and I wasn't drinking. Drinking wasn't the only reason why I didn't have the successful season I wanted to that year, but it was a big impact. So I advise just don't drink underage. Drink responsibly when you're of age, and be mindful of the fact that it will negatively affect your performance and your training. That's just a fact. Gman676 asks, how do I beat people who have been swimming for 7 years longer than me and already know everything about the sport? Okay, well, I can tell you one thing. Those people don't already know everything about the sport. But it boils down to this. How do you beat people who have been swimming longer than you? You have to be driven, determined, and outwork those people, right? And when you're training constantly and when you're working towards a goal, you can't always compare yourself to other people, right? There are benchmarks and there are times and there are certain standards to look at, sure, but ultimately you need to focus on making yourself the best swimmer or the best butterflyer or the best runner or whatever it is you're doing. You need to focus on yourself and have a plan for you, and then trust that plan and not question it. Don't worry about what other people are doing. You know what I mean? Especially in our sport, in the sport of swimming, there are so many different ways to train, right? People do different things all over the world, and guess what? People get better everywhere they go. There are people going best times all over the country, all over the world, and people are doing different things everywhere. So my biggest piece of advice how to beat those people is to find a plan, trust your plan, and then work really, really hard at it. And that's all that you can do. And if you've learned anything from any of my past videos, you'll know that I believe that if you outwork someone, eventually you will beat someone, right? So just keep your chin up, keep trying, keep digging, dig. Bailey Murphy asks, do you read a lot of books? Not really right now. I go in phases where I read a lot and then phases where I don't read very much. Right now, no. I'll like reread all the Harry Potter books like once a year because I gotta nerd out. I mean, look at this. Look at platform 9 3/4 on my wall. I got Harry Potter wands right there. But I love, I love like the Lord of the Rings stuff. But as far as like books go, every now and again I'll get into a grind where I read one book and then I read another book and then I read another book. Like a couple years ago I read The Power of Habit. I love that book. I recommend that book to everyone. I try to reread that book like once a year. But yeah, it's a give and take kind of thing. Kyle Shadek asks, any advice for someone going into their first NCAA meet? Okay, so NCAAs for Division I swimming right now is women's meet is this week, men's meet is next week. I apologize if you asked this question like a week ago and you're already at your meet. But I'm getting around to these questions later, sorry. But my advice is this. When you go to NCAAs or you go to a big meet or really you go to any meet, I always think of it this way. Don't do anything outside what you normally do, right? Keep things simple. Like the phrase, keep it simple, stupid. It's true, right? You want to have a routine that you're used to and just follow through with that routine so that when you get to the meet, you do everything that you normally do, and then it's a habit, and then you don't have to think about it, and then you don't question if what you're doing is going to yield the results that you want. Right? Like when I go to a swim meet, I do the same warm-up every morning, I do the same dynamic thing, I try to do everything the same, and then you can kind of turn your brain off and don't think. Every once in a while you have to make small changes, but overall, if you have a proven formula and a proven recipe and you just follow through with that, then all those other factors you can kind of take out of the equation, right? And you can kind of just relax. So my advice to someone going into their first NCAA meet is keep it simple, relax, and just trust your plan, because that's really all that you can do, right? You're already at the meet, and you've trained all year long for this meet, and now you just have to trust that's gonna pay off, right? You've been programming yourself all year to become this fast swimmer, to go this certain time, and now you just have to let yourself become that. You just have to let it happen. I hope that helps. All right, that'll do it for today's Q&A video. Thank you for sending in those questions. If you didn't get your question answered, keep sending questions in. Anytime I put up a picture, you know, make sure you guys are following me on Twitter @SwimMiller and on Instagram @CodyMiller, and send in those questions. I've been dropping vlogs every Wednesday. You can bank on that. One vlog every Wednesday. I've been doing 2 a week. Right now it's like Wednesday and Thursday, so I'm gonna try to keep that up. It just depends on how busy I am and what I can get done. But make sure you guys are watching those. Subscribe to my channel, share these videos, like, comment down there in the comment section. I appreciate it. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later.